Peace, Black Japan Experience. My name is Susanus. I go under the term of Dr. Yoga Therapy, but I'm also a dancer, an artist, and of course, a person of color. Um, I myself am a Moor. That's why the Bay is in my last name, Susanus Bay. Um, I believe that I, the term black, it's not just a belief, but it's within our Constitution. Uh, as far as like in like things like the Christian Black codes, everything is integrated in as far as like American society. The term black came from here as far as like what we're referring to our people as. Of course, people like our people were the first people on the planet, so I really believe and don't subscribe to the ideal that everybody came from Africa, but I feel like everybody was born on the planet, and thus we spread from Pangea, which in Africa may have been a center point, but the landmass was completely different, viewed differently, etc. It's like especially why people are in Tasmania and other things like that. A little long-winded, but my point and what I wanted to say is we have a deep history, and to say that we're all from the same place, like being humans, I really feel like that's a positive experience for us to look. I was born in the South, in Texas, and I moved to New York maybe like 9 years ago, about almost 9 years ago now, and I haven't moved back since. I'm now 35, but I would definitely say all the experiences I've had are through sheer willpower. And one of the things that did definitely inspire me to actually even have self-confidence, even to even start seeking out additional ways of thinking was anime. And like I think anime actually affects a lot more people than people maybe one give it credit for, or two even like they can psychologically see. Like from Cartoon Network and things like Toonami in the U.S. To other channels that actually used to play it. There's so many origins of English-speaking dynamics that exist across the world, as far as like from hip-hop music to dance culture to art to multiple other things that originated in commercialization from Black America, black. But the term in itself is a legal term. So just like white is a legal term, Native American, they're a legal term, they're misnomers. They don't really refer to people, they more refer to status. But that's another story. But like that's actually kind of one of the main points why I keep bringing this whole thing up is I feel like our journey here as people of color in the U.S., or Moors in the U.S., Moorish Americans in the U.S., from North, South, and Central America, however you want to describe us. I would say we've had such a long history, but our real history, our ancestral history, is a lot longer past our great parents, and we have completely lost that. So when it comes to courage and strength and so many different factors that make us who we are, a lot of it is missing, and we don't think that it is, but it is, because we become somewhat envious around people from the islands, and even more envious on a higher level to people who are from Africa. In different parts, but actually most Americans don't know about the Berlin Conference, how Africa also got colonized through war from the European before the European Union existed, but people from different European royalties coming down to try to take from there. And then, yeah, France still receives, like, how many billions of dollars per year in tax money from Africa. But I feel like, understanding the global stage is one of our biggest parts of our faults. If we don't understand the global stage, we will never understand the small actions that are taken against us. And in the Americas, it's a lot different in the United States corporation. For depending on where you live, East and West Coast completely different from the South and the Midwest. And we may have been treated a certain way, but I don't think that we're victims any more than we choose to be. There might be a lot of principles that have not been taught to us, but we're slowly trying to rise up spiritually in our own way. And leaders are a crucial state for us to be able to tap into. If we don't see leaders, we don't get inspired, and that's the reason why so many musicians and movie stars are leaders to us. So I feel like I've chosen to study multiple languages, and like I know conversational Japanese, even though I'm not like super proficient as I'd like to be. So I actually every time I hit a mark, I end up going back and then doing more basics. Just to understand it as from common knowledge as a native speaker. But then looking into Latin, looking into Greek references with the Bible and the Quran and the Torah, just like the whole thing that happened with Nick Cannon recently. I feel like it's the fact that we don't step up to these political issues, from a level-headed standpoint, from trying to actually look past the drama and say, what would make this person say this? Can I relate to this? Because most African Americans are oblivious to actually what's happening in different African countries. One, because we don't speak French, or we don't stay connected to a actual news source that actually would talk about what's happening in different places. But of course, there's not suffering all the way around, because one of the big things that we're missing here that other people have other places is community. And we don't really have community outside of what we selectively chose to incorporate. So I feel like these things are a few of what's been happening for, ever, as far as after we've gotten our freedom after slavery. But the slavery of the mind is still there. And it's, and when it comes to things like white supremacy or capitalism or whatever like that, we may be disenfranchised, but the heart has to lead you in terms of all types of liberation, from Haile Selassie to Che Guevara to Fidel Castro to Muammar Gaddafi to, you know what I mean? It's super political. You're probably not even gonna pick this video, but I think, man, the Black Japan experience is such a liberating thing. I've been able to speak and date Japanese girls. Speak some Japanese and date some Japanese girls. Have Japanese friends here in New York, but I've been around it for a number of years, and I've still been wanting to go. But I'm so touchy about it just because I really want to. And I actually even have friends there now, but I really want to come self-sufficient. And I think it was your video about the guy who had been there for 30 years or 20. The guy who's a reporter, he's 46 or something like that, and he's kind of talking about his experiences and how he had moved over there and did his thing. And then the guy who from the anime studio that created Naruto, or I mean, I like decided to bring Naruto and a few other different things to light. I feel like those were kind of key pivotal emotional movements for me getting involved in like, you know, subscribing to your channel and then like really wanting to see you prosper, but also being inspired to do additional things also. And I really appreciate you putting your stuff together, and even if this message only finds you, man, 100% support you in your cause. Peace.